This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream and my streaming service, Nebula, where you can watch an extended cut of this sweet video you're about to view. Hi everybody, and welcome to Amy Nolte Music. I remember the first time I ever heard anyone talking about 251s. I was at a jazz festival in high school, and I think it was Kirby Shaw who was giving our group a clinic. And I asked him, what's something I can do to get better at improvising? And he said, well, the first thing you need to be able to do is to recognize 251s. And somebody else in my band shot up their hand and said, oh, 251s are everywhere. And he said, yes, they are. And then he didn't go on about it. And I went home puzzled. 251s are everywhere. I started poking around on the piano. What could it possibly mean? 251. Does it mean where they are in melodies? I had no idea. I have a feeling most of you are beyond that point who are watching this video today. You understand that the 2 refers to the second degree of the scale and the triad that is built from it, as does the 5 and the 1. It's the kind of progression that moves things somewhere. It's like a tiny journey. Makes you feel like you're going someplace, and then there's some tension about it, and then there's some release. Sometimes 251s are just there to reiterate where you've already been, but sometimes they can take you to a place that is entirely new. We're going to talk about both types today, as well as some others. I was talking to a friend recently who said, I know what 251s are, but I kind of suck at being able to hear them in a song and recognize them right away. That's why I'm making the video today. I want you to be able to recognize 251s when they occur in music. You have to be able to recognize what they sound like, what they're for, in order to start improvising over the top of them. I'm just going to play you a lot of songs. All you have to do is listen to the example, try to find the 251 with your ears. Don't be mad at me for not showing my hands in this video. No haters. I want you to use your ears. It's key. You don't need to see my hands. And after each example, I'll give you the answer, let you know where the 251 occurred. One way to latch onto a 251 is to try to hear that minor to dominant sound. And then a resolution. A chord that moves you away, a chord that has tension, a chord that brings you, release. And you can also try to sing the roots and hear that movement of da da da. That could work for you too. You could listen for the bass motion that might go. That happens a lot. If it happens fast, it might happen like this. 251. Try to listen for those little clues as you try to pick out the 251s. Here we go. Sunday morning, rain is falling. Steal some cover, share some skin. Sunday morning, rain is falling. Steal some cover, share some skin. Turns out this song is just full of 251s. And that's all it was. I just played 2 251s right there. This is the kind of 251 that, like I said, reiterates where you've been. Come and get your love. 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 That's right. This song is almost identical to the Maroon 5 song. It's reiterating something over and over again. All the chorus is a 251. All right, it's going to get more difficult for a second. This one's using 2-5-1s everywhere. In fact, it's the classic example that I like to use when I'm teaching students about 2-5-1s. Tune Up by Miles Davis contains a lot of them. And this is the kind of 2-5-1 that moves you from place to place. You can hear that all you need is that 2 chord to put you in a new realm all of a sudden, the 5 chord to bring the tension, and the 1 chord to bring it home. New key, new key, new key. 2-5-1 takes you there. Next one, getting more difficult on you once again. Could you hear all of them? They were everywhere. Giant Steps is full of 2-5-1s, which makes it difficult to solo on because they happen in so many keys. It's the same kind of thing that we covered in Miles Davis's Tune Up. The 2-5-1 takes you to a new realm, a new spot, a new sound every single time. It's really nice. I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. That one's a little tricky. Did you hear it? It was right at the end. I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. In this case, the 5 chord uses a sus sound. It happens sometimes, especially in pop music. And also, it can be difficult in pop music to find 2-5-1s because they want it to be a softer sound than it is in jazz. So that 5 chord being a sus chord, or it's instead of having the 3rd, it has the 4th, it just makes a softer from 2 to 5. It's basically because the 2 stays the same through it, and the only thing that changes is the bass note. So B minor stays B minor, but the 5 in the bass changes to E while the B minor stays. That's one way to play the 5 sus, is just to keep your 2 chord and then go to the 1. Kind of right in the middle. And the way that it gets used is to take us from E minor to the relative major, G major. So we're totally in E minor. We're still in E minor, even though we have a C major chord. And we could still be in E minor here when we go to the A minor chord. But we go to the 5 of G, and then to G. And this is a kind of song that we'll see a couple of times today that flirts between the major key and the relative minor key. Did you find it? This one wraps it up. It was right at the end. It's kind of at the end of a verse or a section, and it takes us back to start another one. Then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. With the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. Wrapped things up to take us back again. Did you hear it? Very good. Did you get it? It's the same exact thing as the last one. At the end of a phrase, it takes us back. It was really quick. All right, on to the world of minor 251s. Now we can assume that we're in a minor key, like A minor. The 2 is going to be built on the second degree, so in this case it would be a B chord. Most of the time we're going to look at B half diminished, so B, D, F, A, going to the 5 chord, which is E7, and back to A minor. Sometimes in pop music, I don't know, they're not so hip to that half diminished sound, and so you'll hear them play just a straight minor. We'll hear both of them. Here we go. In a little while from now, if I'm not feeling any less sour, I promise myself to treat myself and visit a nearby tower, and in climbing to the top. Did you hear it? In this case, we move from G flat major to A flat minor by way of minor 251. It's a B flat minor 7 flat 5 or B flat half diminished, moving to an E flat 7, moving us to A flat minor. In a little while from now, if I'm not feeling any less sour, I promise myself to treat myself and visit a nearby tower, and in climbing to the top. This song, Alone Again Naturally, is really full of great harmonic devices, but it'll depress the heck out of you. Be careful. To the Beatles. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. This is an example of a minor 251 that doesn't use the half diminished chord. It uses a straight minor chord as the 2. It sounds great. Yesterday, it happens right here, the second chord, E minor. Love was such an easy game to play, and it's the same kind of thing as the last song, taking us from major to relative minor. You are the sunshine of my life. It's why I'll always be around. Great song by Stevie Wonder. Did you hear them? There were more than one. This one's tricky. The first thing we heard was a minor 251. You are the sunshine. Really cool chord here. F sharp major over E of my life. We've got D sharp minor taking us to G sharp 7 and then to C sharp minor. So that is our 2, 5, 1, taking us to C sharp minor. We're in the key of B for this song, and most of these examples we've seen a 2, 5, 1 that takes us to the minor 2. It's very common. It's why, but the minor 2 is going to turn into, it wasn't home, it is the minor 2 that takes us to F sharp 7 or the 5 of B. I'll always be around, back to B. So it's the case of a 2, and then a 5, and then a 2, and then a 5. That happens a lot. When you're down in trouble and you need some love and care. This song starts right on the minor chord, F minor, and then we reiterate where we are, just a lot like we were doing with the major 2, 5, 1s. Down and troubled, here we go, 2, 5, and you need some love and care. Just takes you right back to where you were. How insensitive I must have seemed when you told me that you loved me. How insensitive I must have seemed when you told me so sincerely. There it was right at the end. We start out in D minor, and then we take some departures. We go to, oh, that sounded like Steely Dan, didn't it? But it's not. B flat major. Then play around in B flat major for a second, and now we're gonna go right back to D minor. Da 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 da. Great way to take us back to where we were, where we want to be. Although this song goes someplace new. That's neither here nor there. There it was right at the end. I have a whole video on this kind of minor 2-5-1 that takes us either to the submediant or the mediant of where we're at. I'll put a card up in the top for you so you can see that other video if you'd like to get into these more. But we've got faithful friends who were dear to us. Right there takes us from F major to A minor really nicely. There's so many ways that you can use 2-5-1s. We just see that by just exploring the world of music and learning to recognize all the different ways that 2-5-1s are used, as well as just to recognize them, which was my point today. I hope you can start to hear the way that they sound. I'd like to interrupt my own video really quickly to tell you that this is only about half of the examples that I shot for this video. A lot more fun 2-5-1 discussion and challenges await you over on my streaming service, Nebula. Nebula is a place for educational content creators like myself to try out new ideas that might not be right for YouTube, especially videos that might end up getting demonetized or that are just too long for the typical YouTube attention span. But not to fear, the extended version is available over on Nebula, thanks to CuriosityStream for sponsoring this video. Get access to Nebula when you sign up for CuriosityStream using the link in the description. And because CuriosityStream loves supporting creators, you also get free access to Nebula when you sign up using my code. Nebula is a streaming video platform built by creators like myself, Adam Neely, 12-Tone Music, Lindsay Ellis, Legal Eagle, and many more. That's where you can see the extended cut of this video. Plus, you'll get access to CuriosityStream, where you can watch thousands of documentaries on countless subjects, such as Capturing Woodstock, a fascinating documentary about how the groundbreaking film Woodstock was actually made. So use the code in the description to get 26% off of CuriosityStream That's less than $15 for the year. I get free access to tons of exclusive content from educational content creators like me and many, many others. As always, thank you for your support. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Like my new Beach Boys shirt? Woo! I should have played a Beach Boys song. I'll see you next time on Amy Nolte Music.